is I will go with this one first. 2016 to 2018. This is relatively old project. It's almost like 5 years old. So here you can see a few project is during that time I use many different plugins to connect the virtual to the physical. The first project, this is called Magic School Bus. The idea is to show the medical data. If you read the book Magical School Bus, sometimes they travel within human's body, right? They shrink the scale of the bus. Then you can get into the organs. You can see the blood cell. You can learn a lot of stuff. So the idea is similar. Is I want to do it as AR experience. In that experience, you're gonna be able to travel in scale or see things which is very difficult to see in the real world. So that's the name, Magic School Bus. And the project is pretty straightforward. So basically, first we have this 3D model of a heart. This is basically a free model we download. We didn't really, scan a real heart. This is from free library. Then we designed this interface in Rhino. Believe it or not, this is actually a Grasshopper controlled interface. The plugin name is Follogram, which allow you to have a live link between Grasshopper Rhino to HoloLens. So basically, we designed everything here. In that Grasshopper plugin, it allows you to detect the overlapping of your hand clicking with a button, right? And then you can use Grasshopper to control visibility of layers. So basically here I have several layers of the heart. When you click, you turn on, turn off the layer. Then you get this kind of interactive interface. Yeah, there's also another button to control visibility of sections. You can, shuffle through different display mode. Okay, so if you guys are interested to develop something like this, you can just simply search Follogram for HoloLens. And you can see the website follogram.com and you can download. This is not really free. It's actually relatively expensive. But if you're working in a company who has a large project or deep pocket, want to do a quick visualization through HoloLens, but you don't want to learn programming, you already know how to do Grasshopper, then this could be a nice choice. Okay, so this is Follogram for HoloLens. I'm pretty sure they have a page for community. There's tons of tutorials related to Rhino and Grasshopper and how to make this connection, right, between Rhino to HoloLens. Okay, any questions from you guys? Yeah, it's a really straightforward process. They even have a few, props like a 2D QR code or tracker. You can let HoloLens to read. Then later you can stick, kind of like attach a 3D model to it. So it's a pretty cool process. And here's the whole interface. Okay, I do hope they have a lower price since 5 years ago. Let me check their price really quick. Maybe they have changed the business model. I used to be like registration per year. Yeah, it's kind of seems like the same price. All right, any questions about this Follogram? It's pretty good. All right. Then the next project I'm gonna show you really quick. This is the HoloLens installation. This is the project is a collaboration, me with Mara Makul, with a few students from IMARC program. So basically the idea we have is to be able to animate the geometry in AR, overlay with a physical model. So for the physical model, it provides this kind of a static version. But on top of that static version, you have this kind of dynamic animated version. So you can have this kind of both intertwined to each other. And here's a video I will just play really quick. We did this installation outside depth, with plastic. We have this kind of like a digital twin version, which has this animation. It actually has a video as texture. You can interact with the video. You can pause the video. You can play different videos. So the video will be actually mapped as a material to the virtual model. I wonder if you can see that clearly. And you can somehow change the form or change the texture with your hand. Okay. Yeah, so you got a brief idea, this how this two model looks like all together. The nice thing about this project is workflow. Because we are not really using, hologram, we're just worked all the way from Unity to HoloLens. So the step number one, I wish I have some. Yeah, this is a similar screen capture in Depth Gallery. So the step number one is you push this 3D model into Unity. In Unity, you basically assign the texture. You can, tweak the form. You can use C#, which is the script in Unity to program what the interaction looks like. And then you can publish your model from Unity into HoloLens. All right, so this is that process. The tutorial, if you want to do something like this, I'll show you really quick. Yeah, maybe this is a little bit too complicated, but just want to give you a high level intro. So I put the link here in the XR chapter. So if you do want to learn how to do this in Unity, you probably want to learn some basic, things about user interface, how to bring the geometry from Rhino, from other program in, very similar like Unreal, how to set up lighting, camera, and how to set up animation. So this is a part directly related to HoloLens, is using C# script. So here, if I just go ahead and open the link. Right, you can see the tutorial about C#. And this is actually pretty straightforward one. I covered how you can use C# to turn on, turn off, the visibility of objects. You can also get a brief idea, the interface of Unity, how this looks like. I don't know. I think for the first time user, maybe Unity is more friendly than Unreal. Unreal have like hundreds of buttons, right? Unity is really clean. There's not much menus, buttons, options for you. But I don't know. I mean, after so many years in Unreal, I start to get used to the workflow of Unreal. Any of you tried Unity before?
I've tried Unity a couple times before.
Yeah. What do you feel? The C#
It's definitely a
have
lot
you?
easier. I
Yeah.
didn't use like the programming language. I used this like plugin called Bolt, and it's like a visual scripting language.
Yeah.
So I think it helped learning like the whole like the programming part of it. Um, and I think
Is this the graphic? Is it called Bolt?
yeah, Bolt, Bolt, yeah,
Okay.
and
This
it
is
helps
the yeah.
like programming wise. It creates
Hmm.
kind of like a better workflow, I think.
I see. Yeah, I see this is a really good resource available in Unity Asset Store. That's good. I'm glad you find it useful.
Hmm.
It's kind of like Grasshopper, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. It's like node based, basically.
Yeah. No, I can see. This is the interface.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
basically it. Although it looks different on mine. I have like a different setup, but yeah, it's essentially the same thing. It kind of helps with just creating different types of UI layouts
Yeah.
instead of having to like program everything.
Right. That's another plugin in Unity is really good if you don't want to do C# programming. I think that if I go to the asset store, it's probably ranked as a number one. What's the name of it? Let me just type GUI. Oh, let's see. Visual programming. Let me see. Not Grasshopper. Unity visual programming. I forgot it's a plugin. Is in my radar. I wanna if I have time to grab it and then try it, but never got a time to do. You can see it's very similar like Grasshopper. In the next few weeks, I will push another chapter to you related to Blueprint in Unreal. I think you already got a little bit, taste, right, on the Blueprint. I covered in some of my earlier tutorials, but next week I will give you a whole new one. Just talk about visual scripting. I do feel this is actually the future of design. If you think about the designer sometimes can wear another hat, right, as a programmer, but we don't want to learn, C# or C++. And the visual programming seems like a really, really good way for the designers to get in. Another example is if you tried Grasshopper, you will know how easy you can do complicated computation stuff without writing a syntax-based code. That is a huge benefit. Anyone else using the Unity before besides Peter? Right. Yep. But something, keep that in mind. Maybe at some point you want to download and play with it. All right. So back to my talk on the art installation. We let me back to the link. Yeah. So this is basically the whole flow from Unity push the model into HoloLens. I have to say, after that project, um, we hadn't really touched the model for a long time. It just seems like the whole development pipeline for HoloLens quickly shift from art and gaming into the professional training. You can also see that huge, detour or the change from Microsoft HoloLens website. They used to promote a lot in art and design and entertainment, right, recreational industry. But now they are pretty heavy dedicated for the engineers, mechanical, electronic engineers, how to get the training, with their HoloLens. Probably they see, you know, the market potential there is bigger than just visualize 3D model for, you know, designers, architects. Okay, so that is something, you know, you will see if you dig into it. And here's another demo I did in early days, HoloLens rendering in my basement. So here you can see an animated model, right? This model is morphing, is breathing. That is actually done in Maya. In Maya program, you can do the there's a function called blend shape. You can blend two shapes, and then the model can be pushed. The reason you'll see some lighting effects and some maybe shadow, this is all baked in Maya as texture. So when you push the model into Unity, you are not really calculating the shadows. All the shades, all the shadow is pre-calculated and baked into textures. Yep, so that is the HoloLens sculpture, animated sculpture. All right. So I think this is early yeah, this is another one. I think I already showed you in Unity tutorial. You can have C++, C# control visibility. Then I push that model into HoloLens. This is outside my office. I use hand gesture to control turn on, turn off. It's really cool as art installation, but I haven't really found a good purpose why a firm, architecture firm, or a gallery want to invest money to do it. I don't know. This is something worth to, you know, keep tracking. Yeah, and also I haven't really seen many game development using HoloLens. Actually, zero. The one you guys saw, you know, the robot shoot a fireball to you, right? That one probably is only a few games available there. Not many people jump to the wagon. Okay. All right. I think that's the conclusion of the older days project. There's another one, and let me play this video too. Yeah, this is another similar demo. We did a jellyfish animation. So here you can see the people using HoloLens. So I have two HoloLens. One is, you know, be wired by this person. Another one is synced and linked to the TV. So it can, you know, basically cast the first person view to the TV. And you can see other people can actually see the invisible objects from TV. Yeah, that's a jellyfish. All right, so this is the early days project. Then the new link here is 2019. This is a new group of projects. We did actually 3 projects using HoloLens. The first one is HoloLens for fabrication. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I'm not missing. Yep, I think that's the page 1. Yeah, the HoloLens for fabrication. The research topic basically focus on what is the benefit if you are able to see a holographic image, right? Does it help you to fabricate? You know, could be a sculpture, could be an installation, could be a painting, right? Could be an art making process. So here we can see the HoloLens plus hologram. We use it to link a Rhino model to HoloLens in real time. So when they wear or glue these pieces, they have something as a visual reference. Right, so only the person in the middle actually can see the virtual model. So that's a little bit awkward, right? But you can get a first person view. When she glue all the pieces together, she's able to see this super complicated mesh model virtually. Then you can define, hey, where is the start ending point? And then I will glue them. And here's another one. So it's basically a twin, a digital and the physical lined up together. We help him to assemble these pieces together. And here's another project we did, a painting, but the painting is actually in 3D. The challenge is you have hundreds of this tiny thread, and the challenge is you have to paint the black color to the thread, right? But when you paint the black color, we want this whole black ink formulate this kind of continuous surface. So with HoloLens, you know exactly what is the point you should paint the black dot. So the black dot is kind of like a 3-dimension curved surface. I don't know if you can tell from here, but it's just pretty cool. Visually, you can see a cloud. Yeah. And here's the the one you saw in the middle. In the beginning is you can have HoloLens. You can use a hot cutter to cut the form. All right, so that is the project for fabrication. And also we have another one. This is about 2-3 years ago. There is a second year Tectonic Studio. I think the students did an installation using the wood, typical construction material. And we want to do is using HoloLens to overlay another layer of geometry. Let me see if I can fast forward here. Right, so you can see a digital model is overlaid on top. So we want to use it to just evaluate pre-construction. Yeah, they matched pretty well. And here you can see the virtual beer cans with the physical beer cans. They all overlaid together. And here's that yellow color is a digital model. It's a little bit too fast, but it's perfectly aligned. All right, I think that's it about this recent 2 fabrication related installations with HoloLens. Yeah, I think that's it about all the projects.